We'll go ahead and get started. We're Millard Oakley STEM Center. We're the regional STEM hub for the Upper Cumberland. So if you're supposed to be at another hub, then maybe now's the time to go. But I see a lot of familiar faces. We're When we talk, we need to use the mic. So if there's questions, I may bring the question mic to you, or maybe I can just repeat it. But I guess it's being live streamed, so that was one of my directions. Also, I've got my cell phone up here, but it's really to see upcoming slides. I promise I'm not checking text messages or Facebook or anything like that. But I think to begin with, I would like all of us to just kind of go around the room and introduce ourselves. It'd be helpful to know who is here and what regions are being represented. I'll start it off. My name is Darek Potter. I'm the director of the Oakley STEM Center at Tennessee Tech. And so we're, really by the end of this, we'd like to spend some time going through what we do, what some of our programs are at the STEM Center. Most of you, I know, have seen this and know that. And at the very end, I'd like, if we're going to have time, because it's not that long of a presentation, but maybe we can just spend some time hearing from you and just kind of having a conversation about what our hub, the STEM Center, can do to better support you in your schools. What's working, what needs to be working better, and just so we can keep moving forward and keep improving, but what we're doing. But I'll go ahead, and Carlos, you want to introduce yourself, and maybe we can just go around the room. Do we need to pass the microphone around, or we can just do this kind of off script? Doesn't matter to you. Okay, good. I think we can all hear enough.
Hello. Well, I know many of you here. My name is Carlos. I'm the outreach coordinator at the STEM Center. So, like Derek said, we're here to help and support you guys. So, if there's any feedback you have for us, we'll be happy to, hear that and work on it so that we have better, programming for you guys. And then I'm gonna put Amy on the spot.
Okay. Awesome. Great. Great. Okay. Great. Awesome. Great. Yep. Great. Okay. Awesome. Great. Okay. Great. Yeah. Okay, great. We've got a great cross section. I think that's awesome, and I love to see so many counties represented. So welcome, and thank you for taking the time to come to this session today. Um, we'll get started. In in 2000, around 2010, the Tennessee Department of Education partnered with Battelle to come up with the Tennessee STEM Innovation Network, which is the conference that we're out and with the goal of student success in STEM from kindergarten through career. And so they established regional STEM hubs to help do that work. And so the Millard Oakley STEM Center is one of those regional STEM hubs. I think there was 7 when they started, and I think there may be 8 now. I think we're still the only hub in Tennessee that has our own building. Has anybody not been to the STEM Center? Has most everybody been there? Okay, so we are in Ray Morris Hall, which was kind of on the outskirts of campus. It's in campus, but now they've started the new fitness center's been constructed, so it kind of pulls us more towards the center. We're no longer the outlier. But we've got a 27,000 square foot building, and we host student trips there a lot. We host workshops, community outreach events. So we'll talk about a lot of that as we go through that. We pretty much have three buckets that we kind of serve. We support faculty and students at Tennessee Tech. We also support families and community in the Upper Cumberland region. And what we're kind of going to talk about a lot today, we're here today, is we support educators in the Upper Cumberland region too with different types of programs. But the programs we have, there are always other programs that are needed. And so, hopefully at the end of the day today, we can talk about some of those and identify some of those and maybe focus on some of those moving forward.
All right, so many of you guys know we have a lending library, so we have thousands of items that are available for free checkout. So we are always what you may not know is that we're always adding to this library. So we're always trying to get new items. Every time we get a grant or a workshop where we can purchase new materials, we add them and include them in the library. So if you checked a year ago, there's probably new items there. So always keep checking. We do have a newer system. So if you had one of the old accounts and would like to reactivate your membership, then I think the website we have now is a lot more user friendly. It kind of works like Amazon. You can just go on there, pick anything you need, and kind of choose the dates when you need it, and you'll get notifications of when it's due, when it's ready for pickup. If you might get emails from me say like, hey, are you gonna bring back the Ozobots because we need them or stuff like that. But yeah, so it's available to anybody. A problem we have is we do have a lot of use close to us, so we're trying to think of ways of where we can get the items further from us to the counties that are a little further. So we know, some teachers are resourceful and they have students that, study at Tech, and they can make them go pick up their stuff for them, stuff like that. But we do want to come up with some ways where we can improve this. Go ahead.
And so the lending library, those of you that haven't checked out, it's completely free of charge. There's everything in there from, like Carlos was talking about, robotics to dissection kits to, every type of vernier sensor you can think of, we've got it. And so if you haven't looked at that, definitely check that out. We've also got the STEM Mobile, which was maybe circa 2014. It's a 53-foot tractor trailer that can go on site to the school, and we can leave it there for a week. Some feedback that we've gotten in the past is that some of the items may have seemed a little outdated or parts missing, and we've heard that. It's really been sitting in our parking lot since COVID started. We did just get approved for about a $60,000 renovation on it, and so it's going to have completely new electronics. It's going to have adjustable tables in there, telescoping lights. So it should be a lot better experience for students. And also, we're going to make a focused effort, if you bring this out to your school, to do some planning ahead of time, what types of lessons that you want to see there. That way we can outfit it with items from our lending library to help you be able to use that to its fullest potential. So we just put in a request for funding of like $500,000 for next year for the state legislature. We don't know if we'll get it or not, but if we do, then that'll be no-cost trips that we can send it out every week of the year. So that's what we're fingers crossed for that. This is just another picture. I think Carlos took it. That was in Chattanooga, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in Chattanooga. Public area. They had an event there, so we set up outside. We took some STEM ambassadors and had a good time that day.
Yeah. Virtual theater.
Okay, so part of when come for expeditions, we do have a virtual theater. So part of the expeditions is we have a 40 seat theater that is 3D. So it's totally free. So if you go to an IMAX here in Nashville or anything, it'll cost you no less than 30 per person, and even if you take your school. So this is part of the. We do have a contract with Big and Digital, which provides us the educational movies, and we do. Um, Select the movies based on the grade levels that come visit us. So this is available, and it was recently renovated. Derek might have some more insight into when it was renovated, but it's the kids have a blast every time. We also use it at our outreach events. And our hope is that we can use it in applications that are also for faculty and staff at the university to use that 3D technology. Here we have some pictures. These are probably from one of our outreach events that Jennifer will come up here and talk about a little bit later.
Another space that is available to you if you wanted to schedule some time is we've renovated what used to be a little cafeteria area. It's now a green space. It's got sound panels. It's got an adjustable table in the center of it, a Wacom monitor, teleprompter. So if you want to record some really high quality virtual lessons, you can come in there, use the space, and you can walk out of there with a recording with the background. And if you know of a certain kind of background you want keyed in, then we can actually do the recording with that keyed in for you. So, we've been using this space. Students and faculty across campus have started using the space. We also use it on our outreach events. You can see they're doing some VR, there, which is kind of interesting. But there's some interior pictures of it, and we no longer just have these sound curtains. We actually got actual doors now, so it's not quite as invasive when you got students out in the lobby. You can actually get some quiet for the recording. STEM expeditions. Sure, that'd be great. This is this is a student that we just had a grant at the STEM Center. We had like 25 students at Tech, and the goal was that they would work together to create standards-aligned lessons. That I don't know, a lot of you probably saw a survey that we sent out about a year ago asking what are some gaps in student learning that you would like to see some student standard-aligned lessons. And so from that, we kind of identified this as one of the students, and this was filmed in the green room. But the goal is to have a whole library of standards aligned lessons where there is a lesson plan that shows what the alignment is, what the lesson is, and then where you can show a virtual lesson to your student, whether it be at home or in a classroom. And then we have a student that's going to be there for scheduled showings to have a live Q&A session, with the students. That's the goal. It's still a definite work in process, but. Okay. And Carlos, you want to talk a little bit about STEM expeditions, which are our field trips?
STEM expeditions. A lot of you have been already to STEM expeditions. So basically, we do coordinate some field trips for schools or different grade levels to come and visit us. And they consist of 2 or 3 STEM activities that we do with the kids and includes a movie. So we usually can take, I think right now our capacity, I would say, is about 100, per trip, unless you have other stuff going on campus and we can split them in more groups. But we can take about 100 students, split them up, and do 3 rotations with them. This is totally free to the school. The only thing that needs to be provided, is transportation to the STEM center and whatever lunch you're going to provide to the students, and of course chaperones and teachers that come with them. But these are very popular. They fill out very quick, and we have pretty much a lot of the summer booked with these. And usually every Friday of the semester we have going on. So if you want to schedule one with your classroom, or know anybody or any classroom that would benefit from it, just let them know. They can contact me and we can work on getting a field trip scheduled.
can get a rate there of about $8 per student if you wanted to bring students and wanted to let them eat in the cafeteria. Dr. Meadows, you want to talk about community outreach?
So, who's been to a Fab Friday or Safari Saturday? A few of you, yeah. And a few of you have actually come to your schools and we've done something similar. So, we'll talk about that as well. But Fab Fridays are free events that we offer twice each semester. So, 4 per academic year, twice in the fall and twice in the spring. And here's some pictures from some of our events that you see. We usually have between 12 and 15-ish stations in all the rooms throughout the STEM Center, and we utilize a lot of student volunteers to help us man those stations. So let's say we did have 15 stations. I probably am going to have around 70-ish, 50 to 70-ish volunteers working all of those stations. So they're getting experience, our students at Tennessee Tech who are hoping to be teachers. Some of them are engineering in different fields, but they're getting that experience, and then our kids are coming in and enjoying some STEM events as well. The Fab Fridays are for usually our little bit older kids, but we have everybody. We say it's about 3rd through 8th grade, but again, we have families, so that's everybody. And then Safari Saturdays, that's the pictures you see here. Those are really meant for our younger students, ages about 3 to 8. And those happen on Saturday mornings. Fab Fridays are in the evening. Saturday mornings, we have the Safari Saturdays. And again, we have those staffed by our students, our pre-service teachers, and other students from around the university who are getting service learning credit as well. So the Safari Saturdays, again, about 12 to 15 stations. And the kids just get to come through and experience lots of different STEM careers. We try to highlight different STEM careers, and we try to hit all the STEM silos as well as English language arts and social studies, lots of computer science and robotics as well. These have been going on now the whole time we've been at the STEM Center, and Jane Baker and I kind of coordinate these. We were trying to add it up. We've done well over 50 different themed nights. So we get emails a lot of times. I'm looking at somebody who just emailed, do we have these available to share? We really don't. We need to put these together and write a book, we keep saying, but we do love to help you put on your own events. So Jane and I both are ready and willing to talk with you to help you design your own nights. Usually once a semester, I take my STEM Foundations class. If you're interested in maybe going back for your master's, EDS, or PhD in STEM education, come talk to me. But the STEM Foundations class is part of that, and we, as a class, will design an event for a school that's usually in the fall, and I try to do once a year. And I'm looking around the room. We've done one in Gordonsville over there with Miss Lacey and Miss Lynn and Mr. Furman at a former school. So we love to do those, and it's similar to what you see in the Fab Fridays and Safari Saturdays. The difference is we have to bring all this stuff to you guys, but it's still usually about 12 to 15 stations. Does anyone have any questions while we're talking about that? Okay, see me later if so.
Thank you. STEM for All is a program we started a couple of years ago that kind of has stalled a little bit, but we're very passionate about making STEM accessible for all, and this is a program to try to make sure that our events at the STEM Center are more accessible for students that have special needs, and so we've a group of faculty have been pulling this together. You know, the goal, what I see as a goal is having like some type of online training certificate through the STEM for All. The program that they developed, the training session, was amazing. When I attended it, and I'm thinking, you know, every 3 minutes I'm thinking, man, this is something new to me, kind of, that I haven't really thought about. Not necessarily new, but not thinking about, and I think it has a lot of potential. One other thing we're wanting to do when we have our Fab Fridays and Safari Saturdays, we're wanting to have a similar event during the week where maybe schools with special needs programs can bring their students to participate in this with it. So that's something that we're wanting to continue and grow. It's a work in progress. We were proud of in 2020. I got an Inspiring Programs in STEM award from Insight in magazine. So we're proud of it. It's something we've got a lot of work to do on, but it's something that we're hoping to see through. STEM at Home, Carlos, you want to?
Yeah, talk about it and I'll show you what.
Sure. STEM at Home was a program right when COVID hit and school closed. The week after there was the first school closures, we pulled a group of faculty together who worked very hard to pull together. Okay. I don't know what that was. My watch. We pulled a group of faculty together, and they did stuff, everything from coloring sheets for small children to actual lessons. So it hit a gamut of from preschool all the way through high school. And each week we'd have a different theme that we would do all of the lessons to. And so we're really proud of that program. We also had book readings that came in. We had different people come in and do book readings for every week. And so that is still online. It's still accessible. It still gets accessed every week. I think there's like 17 or 18 weeks worth of it. And so that's a resource too. If you ever want something extra, you can go through and scroll through and see some of the themes and kind of look at what we've got there. But that's a resource that's still on our website. I think Carlos was going to pull up and just show maybe a 15-second clip of one of the book readings we did in the green room recording space. Jake Hoot came over one day for one of the book readings when he did it with his daughter. You can, but so like every week there was a book that was selected to be per the theme, and Dr. Meadows here, she helped to select most of the books. She was amazing in this project. So, okay. Huh? If you want to.
When we did STEM at Home, that was again Dr. Jane Baker, myself, and Kelly Moore. So Jane Baker's really the preschool, like she's early childhood. I'm kind of elementary, and Kelly is the high school. So we really tried to address all of those levels. And when you were scrolling through, you saw there were different activities. We tried to make it, as we looked for activities, things that the students could find around their house. So when we started this, remember how it was. You couldn't find toilet paper. The grocery store shelves were bare. So we were really trying to be frugal. What could you go out and get that's recyclable in your home or in the front yard or in the backyard? And we did a lot of things that were accessed online. So some games. We always had online games, online simulations and things like that. But also, I wish she was here too. Ashley, our wonderful, what did we call it? Administrative assistant? Is that her title? She has a degree in art, and she did all the beautiful artwork on all of those that you see. Yep. So.
This was just this is some pictures of some of the students that did stuff at home that sent it in. Every week we'd have like a drawing for students that did something that send it in. Professional development. Dr. Leslie, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so I know there's several different professional learning communities at the STEM Center, and I participate with the science one. Kelly Moore and I do that. How many of you have attended those or watched them online? We have a few. Okay. So we usually have 3 each semester, and we try to, with the science ones, I know that we integrate it with the standards and really try to either teach about our state standards or just different practices that you can use in the classroom. And I don't know as much about the math or the other PLCs, so I'll let you guys share, but that was all with that.
She does a lot of professional development in science, and they're always top notch. So we're very, very lucky to have her and Kelly Moore doing those. And that's something too. This year, you'll be seeing a survey probably come out, but if you don't see the survey, I would ask if you put some thought, what are some needs in your districts for professional development? Because we're, the last many years we've done math and science, but we know there are other needs. And so if you could let us know what those needs are, then we could work to connect that need with faculty or other educators in the region that can maybe put on that PD. So if you could help us out with that, we would really appreciate it. Yep. I know we've got like 2 minutes, so I'll just kind of wrap it up. Rice STEM Ambassador, did any of you have any of our STEM ambassadors in your schools last year? Did anybody? We had a grant program where we had 20 students that got trained, and then they would go into the classroom and help teachers with STEM lessons or whatever the teacher needed. It was a great experience for the students, and I think it was very beneficial. That's something that we don't have funding for, but it's something that we're always looking to try to ramp up again. And then this past year we had another grant program that advised, and that was where we're doing the virtual lessons, the standards line lessons that I already kind of shared with you. But other than that, that's kind of programs, a good overview of the programs we've got. But like I said, we're here to support you, and that's what we want to do. We want to keep being in a better position and being able to better help you. But we need you to let us know what we can do better and what we're not doing that we need to be doing. But other than that, I'd like to open the floor up for questions. If you've got any questions about anything you saw here or something different, or just in general, we've got so much expertise in this room that we can definitely get it answered, I'm sure. But does any questions or statements or Amy? We've got probably 5 recorded. There's going to be one, I believe, in Fentress, maybe. I think Carrie Wilson, who is a doctoral student, and she previously taught, but I know that the different groups are working with different educators in counties, and I think that maybe, and I know we have some people from Fentress, maybe you don't know, but I think maybe that she's working with one math teacher there that we're going to have our first live lesson, but that'll be coming. But we don't have them available yet, for the short answer.
I also wanted to say I use a lot of the STEM at home resources in my classroom, so it doesn't just have to be, like, especially for primary grades. I've used a ton of that stuff, and it fits right in with standards for science, and so it's been really helpful.
Okay, well, thank you, Amy. That's awesome. Construction?
Construction is where teachers and IT students take and design basically structures out of canned food. And they do that in conjunction with local food banks and things like that. So they get donations and then they get money. And then the student or the school part of that would be designing and, graphically representing something. And then they all come together one day. And they have like 2 hours to build their structure within these guidelines and everything. The Discovery Center, DCA, they hosted it. And I would love if you guys would look into that.
Okay.
For our area, for the Upper Cumberland or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds like a great program. Okay, we'll definitely do that.
It's like huge. They do it with, artists and people in larger cities and stuff, but just something that I would love to do with my students, but they can't just compete against each other.
Yeah. Okay, we'll definitely look into that. Okay, yeah, thank you. All right, well, I think we're 1 minute over time, but it was great to see everybody. Please reach out to us if we can do anything to help you with anything. So, thanks.